Hi everyone, I'm here in my home studio, my back office that I've turned into my studio, and I'm here to talk about homework 86. Let's talk quickly about the assignment. You'll be drawing a shape of something recognizable using only straight lines and circular arcs. And then you're going to calculate the perimeter in the area. So that's super open-ended, super, you know, I guess open to interpretation. Let me talk about the requirements and then some recommendations. So the shape needs to be made up of at least 8 different segments. So it can't just be a rectangle or a triangle, something like that. It has to have at least 8 parts. Anything that you want. I would be thinking like a block figure. So think Minecraft. You could make something. I'm gonna make a car. You could make a flower. You could make a person. You could make a dog. You could make a letter from your name or something like that. Whatever you wanted. Don't make it too complicated. I've had people in the past do this where it's like super complicated and then it just makes everything hard. It could absolutely be very simple shape as long as it has at least 8 segments in it. Recommendation, mostly I would say straight lines. You'll see when I do the activity why curves will make it more difficult. So if you do put some curves in, I would try to minimize that. They need to be circles or parts of circles. If you do any curved portions, you can't just do a wavy squiggle because we don't know how to find the length of wavy squiggles. So that's why. And then advice here, line segments should be at least half an inch long. Again, don't make it too complicated. Don't have all these little lines in it. The area of the shape has to be between 10 and 30 square inches. So you cannot make something that's super small. I'll show you in a minute how big a square inch is. Has to fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. 8.5 by 11, 8.5 times 11 is about 93 square inches. So a full piece of paper is about 93 square inches. So the biggest you could make it is 30. The biggest you could make something is a third of a page. So it should be, I don't know, maybe about, it's hard to see, about this big. There's no scale. Most graph paper is 4 squares to an inch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 inch. This here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this here, that area is 1 square inch. 1 square inch. So it needs to be at least 10 times bigger than that. So you can't make something super small. I'm going to draw a car. So let's go for it. We'll see how it goes. I have a sense of what it's going to look like, but I haven't practiced this. And, I'm obviously doing this fast. You have time at home to make mistakes. I guess I could redo this if I make a mistake. And I am going to put some wheels. So maybe that'll be a half circle there. This is kind of a weird car. I don't understand what this trunk situation is. I don't know which is the front of the car or which is the back. I don't know. It's probably not the greatest car, but we'll call it good. So I drew my shape. Take a little bit more time doing yours. So we want to find the perimeter of this car. The diagonals you'll definitely need to measure. So that's about like 2.25 inches. So I'm gonna go fast. You might want to take a little bit more time. That's 2.5. 2.5. This diagonal here is about 1 inch. like I said, you should take a little bit more time than I am. I'm going fast because I don't want this video to be an hour long. This also. I'm going to skip the circle part for a minute. That's 1 3/4. Is it 1 3/4? Yes, 1 3/4. This also 1 3/4. This is 3 squares here, so it's 3/4, and that's also 3 squares. So, except for the circular portion, I can find the perimeter. I have half a circle here, so the circumference is basically 1/2 of circumference is 1/2 of pi times the diameter, because the circumference is pi times the diameter. Now, someone might say, wait a sec, there's another half circumference here, and that's true. Maybe if you drew like a unicycle, you would only have half a circle. So just to show that we could do half a circle, I'm going to kind of show it like this. The circumference is the distance around, and the diameter, 1 2 3. So it's 4 squares, so it's an inch. So the half the circumference is 1/2 times pi times the diameter is 1. So this circular portion here is 1/2. I'll show you here. Times 3.14 times 1. I don't need to put in. It's about 1.5. 1.6. So let's just say 1.6. And this one here is the same also. 1.6. So now I can find the perimeter. The perimeter is, I would just add up all of these distances. I'll do it quickly. 2.25 plus 2.5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1.6 plus 1.75 plus 1.6 plus 1.75 plus 0.75 plus 0.75. I think that's where I started. You always need to be careful about that. My calculator, you can actually scroll back and look where you started. You might want to put a little mark or something like that to indicate where you started. Yeah, right there. So in this case, almost 17. I wonder, I guess it just worked out that way. I'm going to round up. It doesn't matter if it's exact, 17 inches. So the perimeter is 17 inches. And to find the area, I need to break this into smaller shapes. So I have these 2 half circles. 2 half circles. So I'll do the area of those half circles together. I know that the area, I'm just going to show all my calculations on the sheet. Area is pi r squared. The area is 3.14. The diameter is 1, so that means the radius is 1/2. So it's, remember to do the exponent first. 3.14, 1/2 times a half is, oops, let me move that, sorry. Half times a half is a quarter. So what is a quarter of 3.14? It is going to be about 0.78, I believe. 3.14 times 0.25. Yes, 0.78 if you can see. So the area of the circles together, A is, I'll just round that up, 0.8 together. And now, again, I'm going quickly. Please take your time. Maybe I'll break this up into a big rectangle, triangle, rectangle, triangle, square, a little square, and just for giggles, a little trapezoid there. So you have to find the area of all of those, somehow show the calculations. This here, 0.75, and then how long is this? 6.5. So 0.75 times 6.5. 6.5 times 0.75 is all around that. It's about 4.9. This here, I wonder if it's going to be big enough. Am I going to meet the 10 square inches? I might have to redraw it bigger. This is 2. Oh, I know that it's 2.5. Huh, that'll be funny if it's not big enough. 1.25. 2.5 times 1.25. 3.125 area is equal to. Here I have a triangle. This is 1.25. That length is 1.75. So area is 1/2 base times height. 1/2. 1.75 times 1.25. 0.5 times 1.75 times 1.25. About 1.1. And so on. So we're getting close. I can tell this here. So this here is 1/4 of a square inch, because 4 by 4 would be 1 square inch. This here is 1/4. I know that. I'm going fast because I don't want this to be the world's most boring video. Maybe it is. So this is 0.75. This is 1/2. So the area in there is 1/2 base times height. 1/2 of 0.75, 0.5, 0.5 times 0.75 times 0.5, about 0.2, 0.2. This here looks like it'll be pretty similar. Actually, I can tell this here, these 1, 2, 3, 4 little squares. So there's the counting the square version way to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this here is 1/4. And then this is this should be a straight line here, is 1/2 of 4 squares. So this filled in equals 2 squares. So it's 1/2 of 1/4, which is 1/8, or 1/2 of that, which is 0.125. Lots of different ways to do it. Hopefully, like I said, I'm saying this a lot, if you go slower, you will start to make all these connections. So here's all of my calculation, and now I need to make sure that I get everything. 4.9. The area of the circle, the tires, 0.8. We have this, 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 and this. And we need to add them all up. Area equals. I think we're going to be more than 10. Let's add them all up. 1.1 plus 3.125 plus 0.25, oops, plus 0.2 plus 0.125 plus 0.25 plus 4.9 plus 0.8. Add them all up. Oh my goodness. 10.75 square inches. So here is kind of the minimum sized object that you should draw. There's my car. We have the perimeter and the area. So this is my calculation sheet. I'm going to pause the video here, and then I'm going to make a second sheet. So I'm going to stop.